A lot can happen in 2 weeks. Isn't that right, Angels fans? We have another new roster update predictions today, June 10th. We're going to see a bunch of new attribute upgrades. Let me know in the comment section. Who do you think is going diamond? Who's going gold? We have tons of predictions. As always, leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel. Spend a lot of time on this. We'll see some other people list 5 players. We probably got 50 today. We spent a lot of time on this, and hopefully going to hit on a bunch of these. So let's go ahead and start out with some favorites. We have the Toronto Blue Jays. The team that seemingly brought wiffle ball bats up to the box each and every time is finally starting to hit. And George Springer, I think he's got a great case for him. I have him going to diamond, 382 ISO, 3 homers against righties since the last update, 385, 308 against lefties in the last 30-day span. 310 ISO, 345 batting average on the season. That deserves an upgrade. So a +2 for him, I think, is doable. He also is walking more, striking out less. So I think a +2 is going to happen for Mr. George Springer, one of the first diamonds, first of a couple that we're going to see right here. Moving over to the Central, talking about the Guardians, Emmanuel Clase striking out batters. I'm shocked. 12 strikeouts per 9 in the last 6 innings since the last update. 143 opponent batting average. I think he's finally done enough to net gold. Moving to the Twins, we're talking Gio Urshela, who I was cold on to start the year, but now he's getting oh so hot. 321 with a 286 ISO against righties. Since the last update, I think that is good enough to warrant gold right here, a +2 to an 80 overall. Lord knows how he only has 66 fielding. I guess that's just the moronic devs over at SDS doing their, or not doing their job, matter of fact. For the Rangers, we have Adolis Garcia, who I think is going to be moving up to gold here. Love this investment, tons of room. Same thing with Gio Urshela. There's a lot of stubs to be made on these. I don't want to just call this a lock section and tell you, oh yeah, this guy who's going for 0 profit margin, I think he's going to go. Great. What an interesting tip there. Very compelling video right there, Gomer. +2 for Adolis Garcia. Hitting 290, 226 ISO against righties. Not crazy, but the batting average is nice. 300, 450 batting average at ISO with 3 homers against lefties in the last 30 days. I think a +1 is easy. +2 is likely. And then finally, started off with the pitcher. Talking about, if I can find it, Aaron Nola, who I think is on track, but I'm going to say this. He needs to have a great start, which he definitely could. The Brewers, who they're facing, they're 3rd in strikeouts on the year and 22nd in OPS in the last month. So Aaron Nola, 189 opponent batting average, 9.4 K per 9, 0 walks. I think has a shot already, but cements it with a great start against the Brewers, I think, on Wednesday. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do it. Start the long list. Trey Mancini, a +2 to gold. 382, 265 against righties, 2 homers and 5 extra base hits against right-handers in the last 14 games. So, like him, a lot for gold right there. Rafi Devers, I think, again, deserves diamond. Damn it, I don't understand why he's not. He has a 228 ISO versus lefties on the year, but a 643 with 2 homers, 5 extra base hits in the last 14 days. I think there's so much compelling argument for him to go diamond right here, and there is some room, 2,600. So I like that one right there. Nate Eovaldi have a +2 to an 84, 204 opponent batting average, 8.4 K per 9, 1.2 BB9 in the last 15 innings. Strikeouts, which you'll hear me say a lot. Xander Bogaerts, a +1 for him, 4 for 8 with 3 extra base hits against lefties in the last 14 days, and he's walking more. So maybe starts to trek to diamond, but not quite yet. Moving to the Yankees, good lord, let's talk about their whole fucking staff. Garrett Cole, a +2 for him. He's been phenomenal. 160 opponent batting average, 12.9 K per 9, great. Nestor Cortez, +1. I think he needs a very good start to get there, which is definitely within reason. 170 opponent batting average, 7.2 K per 9, not giving up too many walks. Great upgrade. Jameson Taillon, he's not doing anything except not give up hits. 0.78 opponent batting average. +2. He's going gold in my opinion. Clay Holmes, not in the rotation, but he's getting gold as well. Is yet to give up a run in the last couple of years. 118 opponent batting average, and he's striking out batters too now. 12.6 in the last 5. And then finally, Luis Severino, I also think is going gold up to an 80 overall. .071 opponent batting average, 12.2 K per 9, limiting walks pretty well. Again, so Severino I have going. Gleyber Torres, also have him for a +3. He's starting to turn it around this year, which is good to see for him. Oh wait, there's also Jose Trevino, who's just been on a tear. +4 for him. Not going to get into the semantics of it. You've probably seen it all over your Twitter feed, how good he's been doing. Randy Arozarena, this is going to go for a few people that they actually downgraded last week when they deserve to be upgraded. Baffling, I know. +2 to a 79 for him against righties, 320 batting average and ISO, 2 home runs against them, and striking out a lot less in that time period. Here's an interesting one. Teoscar Hernandez. Within the last update, he's playing like a diamond, but the problem is he has a 656 OPS on the year, so I'm going to give him a +1. You see the +13s only net him to an 84 here. I'm going to be realistic. He's playing great, keep it up, and he can get diamond rather quickly. Bo Bichette, another guy who bewilders me why he would get downgraded. He's going right back up to gold. +2, 324, 294. Batting average and ISO with 2 home runs since the last update against righties. He's walking more, striking out less. Great. Matt Chapman is actually getting base hits. That is not a fabricated story that I'm telling you right there. It's true. Look it up for yourself. 350 batting average against righties since the last update, and striking out 9.2% less compared to on the season. Alejandro Kirk, big +4 for him. What a Chad. Just the stature. 5'8", 245. That's the ideal male body. 429, 524 with 3 home runs against righties. 4 for 7 against lefties since the last update. Great. He's getting a fat upgrade right there. Jose Abreu, I think, is going to go back up to gold right here, hitting well against righties, 367, and then 510, 2 home runs against lefties, and then improving as far as walk rate and strike rate goes as well. So I like him. Another gold for the Guardians is going to be Andres Gimenez. Who's won the Lindor trade to this point? You tell me. He's getting gold right here. 300, 500 batting average and ISO against righties since the last update, 6 for 11 against lefties. In the last 30 days, he just does not get lefty matchups, apparently. Moving on to the AL West here, we have your Don Alvarez. He's already a diamond, but he's going to get even better. Locked him up for long term there in Houston, and 3 home runs against righties, 500 batting average against lefties, 455, 364. Looking great right there for him, a +2 to an 87. Frankie Montas, +1, 224 opponent batting average, 10.4 K per 9, low walk rate, 20 innings. Great Ramon Laureano. What do you know? He doesn't need to stick a needle in his arm to be effective. Wow. Don't do drugs, kids. 333 batting average against righties, 5 for 13 with a 308 ISO against lefties, a +2 to an 82 overall for him. A couple Mariners, we're looking at Logan Gilbert, again an 82 for him. 184 opponent batting average, 8.3 K per 9, no walks, or 0.7, practically no walks since the last update for him. We're looking at Eugenio Suarez, +2, 292 batting average against righties since the last update, 304 batting average and ISO against lefties in the last 30 days, 23. It's gonna increase there, so have him going up to a 78. And then Diego Castillo, also a 78 overall for him. Been lights out, 0.53 opponent batting average, 16.5 K per 9, 0 walks. I love it. Moving to the Rangers, our last one in the American League, looking at, of course, Martin Perez, the dominator of any team that he happens to cross paths. 189 opponent batting average, starting to strike out more. 8.1, 1.8 BB9, 20 innings. Great. I have him going up to a 77. Moving over to the Braves, Austin Riley. Have him getting back to gold. He must be bipolar, man. He can't decide if he wants to be yellow or silver. +3 to an 81, 341, 3 homers against righties. Crushing lefties, 444, 722. ISO with 2 home runs in the last 14 days. Great. Max Fried, have him getting a +1. He's limiting hits, doing nothing else. If he wants to get diamond, he should do something else. Moving over to the Marlins, we have Sandy Alcantara, who is finally finding the strikeouts. 13.2 K per 9 in the last 3 starts. He's looking fantastic. Easy gold for him. Garrett Cooper is hitting 500 against righties. Since the last update, great. He gets a +2 to a 76. Moving to the Mets, couple interesting cases here. Pete Alonso, I think, is guaranteed to get diamond here. He's hitting both sides very well. 308, 423 ISO with 3 home runs against righties. 375, 750 ISO against lefties since the last update, and walking a ton more. Obvious. It shouldn't be too much convincing to make you believe. Francisco Lindor. Here's where I would need a lot of convincing to make me believe he gets back up to diamond. 389, 444 against righties with 3 home runs in the last 14. So some of that is attributed within the previous time span of the last roster update. He's not hitting lefties particularly well right now. It's possible. We'll see. It depends. It's contingent on the next couple of games, I would say, for Frankie Lindor. Starling Marte, he's going to go right back up to where he got downgraded last roster update to an 83. Like I said, it just really annoys me talking about guys getting right, like he's doing well, and he's only making up where he just got downgraded when he didn't deserve it at all. It is ludicrous, in my opinion. Moving to the Phillies, we talked about Nola. What about Zach Wheeler? Because he's in a similar situation. 250 opponent batting average. That's not going to get an upgrade. That has to increase, but he's striking out batters. 12.5 K per 9 in his last 18.2 innings. Maybe one start, it would be have to, like, a really good start. Like 8 innings, 7 innings, striking out double digits and giving up like 4 hits. It'd be a really big start for him, or 2 good starts. And I think Zach Wheeler's going to get up to diamond. He's very close, but not quite Nola close. Nelson Cruz. He's hitting against righties 387, no power. 429, 357 ISO against lefties. He'll get a +1 to a 79. Here's what I'm very happy to see. Wilson Contreras. He's been in the league for quite a few years now, and I don't think he's ever been a diamond, but he's always been kind of that window of like top 5 catchers in baseball. I think this could be the year he gets it. Not this update, a +2 to an 84 here, but he's looking really good. 314 against righties, 3 for 8 with 3 home runs. All his hits in the last 14 days against lefties are home runs. So I think he's got a shot, just not quite this week. David Robertson for them is also pitching well. +2, 185 opponent batting average. A lot of strikeouts, not many walks, where that's going to be the big upgrade for him. Moving to the Reds, they've got an upgrade. Shocker. Luis Castillo is looking like Luis Castillo again, or the good version of him. 175 opponent batting average, 11.4 K per 9 in 17 and a third innings. Great, +2. Pirates, talking about Brian Hayes. That's not the Pirates, nor is that Brian Hayes. There he is. He has 2 home runs, which, 38 and 32, 2 home runs might not seem like a lot, but for him, it's massive. He's on a Barry Bonds-esque stretch right now. He's playing really well. 385, 192 ISO, 375 ISO against lefties in the last 14 days. Get a +2 to 82 overall for him. Another +2, a lot of those today. We have a 90 overall for Paul Goldschmidt. He is crushing righties. He hardly can get an upgrade against lefties, but that's fine. He has 5 home runs, hitting 313 with a 500 ISO since the last update, and a +6.2 percentage increase on his walk rate. So that's great. He's going to get 90 for sure. Don't know if there's a ton of room to invest, though, because Arenado's already 90+. Just keep that in mind. Harrison Bader, 367 against righties since the last update. Great, a +1, looking towards diamond. Last division here, Ketel Marte, back on track, it seems, hitting for no power, but he's getting on base. 333 against righties in the last 14 days, and he's striking out a hell of a lot less, so that's good for him. Moving over to the Rockies, we have Brendan Rodgers. Could be Coors Effect, who knows? But he's playing really well. His 9 consecutive years of getting future star cards, it seems like he might be here. His future could be now. 353, 324 ISO against righties with 3 home runs. 381, 333 ISO against lefties in the last 30 days. So kind of due for an upgrade there, in my opinion. Another 90+ Mookie Betts had a fantastic month of May. I think he definitely deserves a +1. 4 home runs, 349 ISO on the last 14 days against righties, and 7 for 14 with 2 home runs against lefties in that same period. So I think he definitely gets a boost. Trey Turner, a +1. His hit streak's over. Wasn't crazy. It was just a lot of hits. It wasn't a lot of like 3-4 game hit nights, but he'll get a +1, hitting better against righties now. 324, definitely deserves a boost. Tyler Anderson for them has been pitching well, +2 to a 78, 186 opponent batting average, 8.6 K9, not walking anybody. Great, keep it up. Joe Musgrove, what an interesting polarizing name in the upgrade community, right? I think you'll get it. The way it's looking right now, he had 8 innings, 1 hit given up. Everything else, his other intangibles, he's not striking out a bunch. 8.4 K per 9 is in line with his 61 attribute on the game, and he's starting to walk a few more batters. 3.2 BB9, but I think the hit 9 right now, as it stands, he should be going diamond come this next update. Then we have Mackenzie Gore, who's pitching maybe even better in the recent stretch. 116 opponent batting average, 13.2 K per 9 in his last 13 innings, a +3 for him to a 77. And oh, so fitting to end with one of my favorite players of all time, Evan Longoria, getting gold, damn it, +3. 300 and 500 batting average in ISO with 3 home runs against righties, hitting 333 of 467 ISO and 2 home runs against lefties in the last 14 days. Great. I have him getting a 80 overall. A lot of players we talked about. I'm going to need a drink of water. You tell me, was I right? Were we wrong? Leave a like if you guys did enjoy streaming later on tonight. Hell yeah.